You know, when you pull on a piece of clothing, have you ever stopped to think about what makes it, well, what it is? It's not magic. It's actually science. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the secrets hidden inside every single thread. I mean, really think about it. Why is that workout shirt so stretchy and perfect, but your denim jacket feels like it could survive anything? We almost never ask that question, but the answer, well, it determines pretty much everything about the clothes we wear every single day. And that's exactly where we're headed. It all comes down to the single most important building block of any fabric you own, the yarn itself. So, the key term we need to get our heads around is yarn performance. It sounds technical, but it's really just about how that yarn behaves under all kinds of conditions, from the factory floor to your daily life. You can think of it as the blueprint that dictates, literally, everything about the final piece of fabric. Okay, so where do we even begin? Let's start with the tough stuff, the mechanical properties that decide whether a piece of clothing is going to last you a season or for years to come.
There are really three big players here. First, you've got strength. That's how well it resists being pulled apart. Then there's elasticity, which is its ability to stretch and, crucially, snap right back. And finally, abrasion resistance, which is just how well it holds up to all that rubbing and friction from everyday wear.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because you can see this in action with fabrics you totally know. For that durable denim, you need super high strength, right? So you use a strong ring-spun yarn. But for activewear, it's all about high elasticity, so you can move. So you use a yarn that has elastane in it. See? Two totally different needs met by two perfectly engineered yarns. But look, durability is only half the story. What about comfort? Let's talk about how a fabric actually feels against your skin. And believe me, this is way more than just softness. It's a whole science. So, comfort is this cool combination of things. You've got the fineness of the yarn, which decides if a fabric feels light and airy. Then there's its bulk, which is all about trapping air for warmth. The surface texture, that's what gives you that immediate, ooh, that feels nice sensation. And absorbency is absolutely key for handling moisture. And this explains why certain fabrics just work in certain situations. Why is cotton so amazing in hot weather? Because its high absorbency pulls moisture away from your skin. And that wool sweater that keeps you so warm? Its high bulk creates all these tiny little air pockets that act like a natural insulator. Pretty cool, right?
All right, so we've covered how it holds up and how it feels. But what about just style? How it looks? Beyond all the performance stuff, yarn is also responsible for the aesthetics of our clothes.
We're talking about the visual and tactile qualities. Luster, for example, gives a fabric its shine or sheen. The type of yarn also changes how it takes dye, which affects the final color. Texture can create all these unique visual looks, and uniformity, well, that's what gives you a nice, consistent, clean appearance. Let's look at a great comparison. On one hand, you have filament yarns. These are made of long, continuous fibers like silk, which makes them smooth and shiny, perfect for formal wear. On the other hand, you've got spun yarns, made from shorter fibers like cotton. They have a softer, more matte look, which is ideal for, your favorite t-shirt. The choice of yarn literally creates the style. So you might be wondering, how do textile designers actually control all of these different properties? It's not just guesswork. It's actually a very precise recipe.
It's really a deliberate four-step process. First, you pick your fiber. Is it going to be something natural like cotton or a synthetic like polyester? Then you decide on the twist level. A higher twist usually means more strength, but you give up a little bit of softness. Next, you determine the yarn count, which controls how thick it is. Put all those choices together, and what you get is a specific and highly predictable level of performance.
And all of this engineering means that you can select the absolute perfect yarn for just about any application you can imagine. Let's just take a quick look at the big three. Spun yarns, soft, absorbent, that's your go-to for everyday clothes and home stuff. Filament yarns, strong, smooth, shiny,
They're perfect for more formal things or technical fabrics. And textured yarns? Bulky, elastic, they're the absolute backbone of sportswear and all your cozy knits. Each one is picked for what it does best.
So as we start to wrap this up, if there's one thing to take away, it's that the yarn is everything. You could almost think of it as the DNA of the fabric.
This quote here, it just nails it. The yarn's performance isn't just a suggestion, it's a direct translation into what that fabric will be and what it will do. It really, truly is the blueprint for every single textile we use.
So, next time you're getting dressed, maybe take a closer look. Feel the texture. Give it a little stretch. You're not just picking out clothes, you're actually reading a hidden blueprint that was engineered into every single thread. What story are your clothes going to tell you now?